Welcome to the first episode of NBA Assists. I'm your host, Ronald Cabang from WagerTalk.com, also known as UCapper Sports on all social media platforms. This show is about assisting you guys with actionable info to make informed betting decisions in the NBA. Each episode I'm going to go through each game on that specific day slate. Today we have two games on the board for opening day. We have the Los Angeles Lakers visiting the Denver Nuggets. We have the Phoenix Suns visiting the Golden State Warriors. Before we get into those games, though, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes of NBA Assists. All right, so let's get into this first game here. We have the Lakers and the Nuggets. Right now on the Wager Talk Live odds screen page, we have the Nuggets as 5-point home favorites, and we have the total up to 228.5. This one kicks off at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. One thing that I've noticed with the Lakers here, at least to start the season, is I feel like they're a pretty deep team offensively. Nearly everyone in that projected rotation is capable of stretching the floor, and to me, that's what makes this team a little bit more dangerous than last year's. Offensively, the drop off from starters to bench is not as big of a gap as it was last year. I think Rui is going to be, a key cog in that second unit. He's coming back for another run with them. Christian Wood, Gabe Vincent, both capable scorers. I think Jackson Hayes is a nice, athletic big who can catch lobs all day. And this is a team that has the right balance of continuity and depth to contend for that championship this season. I mean, obviously, it's too early to tell, but just based on who I see on the roster and the roster makeup, I can definitely see them making it pretty far in the NBA playoffs, especially in the Western Conference. On the opposite side here, in my opinion, the Nuggets did not get much better this offseason. I think obviously they still have the best player in the league in Jokic, but Bruce Brown was sort of to me an underrated loss for the squad. We saw glimpses of Christian Brown that suggests he could fill that role. What Bruce left, but they're going to be relying on a lot of young, inexperienced guys here, especially with that second unit. They got Strother and Hunter, and they got obviously they got vets like Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan as well. Just for me though, I think the overall offensive depth is lacking for this Nuggets team. And when Jokic comes off the floor, I'm expecting a huge drop off in production. Defensively, if I look at both of these teams defensively, I think one thing that comes to mind for the Lakers is versatility. I think AD, obviously a perennial defensive player of the year contender. They added another athletic rim protector in Jackson Hayes to come off of the bench. Perimeter defense, to me, is where the Lakers struggle last year. But I think obviously no one in their backcourt is really known for their man-to-man defense, one-on-one defense. But I think what we can see with the guards here, I feel like they're going to be a little bit more aggressive, knowing this season they have a healthy AD to start. They got Hayes as well in the secondary unit. I think Torian Prince and Jared Vanderbilt are both solid defenders as well. As far as the Nuggets, though, I'm just not too sure what to expect from them from a defensive standpoint. Obviously I mentioned Bruce Brown earlier, but I feel like he was an underrated defender, underrated rebounder. I think Christian Brown can do some of those things. Aaron Gordon will be the guy that really they rely on to make defensive stops. Last year, the Nuggets were in the middle of the pack when it came to defensive rating. To me, part of me feels like their defensive rating could be worse this season. They were bottom third in the league in defending the paint as well, and I don't think they really made any changes to help with that. Zeke Naji, and I know he's had some games where he had multiple blocks during the preseason, but I feel like he's a little bit undersized to be that normal rim protector there. I feel like this should be a tight game from the jump. I'm expecting the Nuggets to have a strong start. Especially with Jokic typically playing majority of that first quarter. But once he heads to the bench, I just feel like that production is going to be, the drop off in production will be more apparent. The Lakers' second unit should be able to, have that edge over the Nuggets second unit. Obviously the Nuggets are champions for a reason. They do have the best player in the league, yeah, but just that depth and defense, yeah, I feel like that's going to be a problem for them, especially for this game here specifically from a matchup perspective. I just think that this game will be close and come down to the last couple of possessions, in my opinion. But I feel like the Lakers should be able to cover the spread, possibly win this game outright in a higher scoring game. If you can't find a side to back, I think one trend to consider here, since since LeBron has joined the Lakers, in their first game of the season, opposing teams are 5-0 to their team total over. That kind of aligns with the high scoring game. Um, that's the way that I look at that game here specifically. Uh, From a side perspective, like I said, I just feel like the depth is going to be on the Lakers side here. The Suns, they got the later game here. The Suns versus the Warriors. This will be at the Chase Center, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Looking at this live odd screen page here, we're now seeing the line here as the Warriors as a 1 point home dogs, and the total available at 235, 235 and a half. To me, obviously the line shifted a bit after the news that Draymond was going to sit. The Suns, obviously they made one of the biggest. They were one of the teams with the biggest news this offseason, right? Made huge changes. They were able to keep KD and Booker and add not only Bradley Beal but some much needed depth. It's going to be tough for opposing teams to really stop this squad offensively. Opposing teams are going to try and focus on attempting to stop KD, Booker, Beal, but they got guys like Nurk and Eubanks who are capable post players, right? And a bunch of wing players who can shoot the three ball as well. I think people will look towards KD, Book, and Beal as scorers only, but all three are legit playmakers. Whether or not they get the assist to show for it, that's another story. But they high IQ guys. They make the right plays, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So, I can't see too many teams here stopping this team offensively. The Warriors also look a little bit different with Poole, longer on the squad. Chris Paul, the big addition to the squad as well. The Warriors, they're going to look towards their young guys who've been in the system for a couple years now. I'm expecting big years from Kuminga and Moody. Brandon Pozemski, he looked pretty solid in the preseason. I mean, you can't go wrong learning from guys like CP3 and Steph Curry. So, I think he can make an impact early as well if they need him to play the point guard position from the bench there. I think Sarge it can be a decent backup for Looney. Looney's one of those guys who really goes underappreciated. He does all the small things to get the wins for the Warriors here. To me, I think that defensively, I'm not sure what to expect from the Suns team here, but I do know Vogel is more of a defensive-minded coach, and with the talent and the length that they have on the squad, they should be able to be towards the upper half of the league in defensive rating again this season. With that length too, I could see some pressure up front, get a good amount of steals, a good amount of points off turnovers. That's something that I could see from this Sun squad here. The Warriors, typically one of the better defensive teams in the league year after year, but Draymond is starting off the season hobbled. He's going to be missing this game. He is the key to this team defensively, but obviously no Poole. That's going to be a positive on the defensive side, especially with the second unit. Chris Paul has always been one of the better perimeter defenders in the game as well. I think overall, the Warriors should be a top 10 defense from beginning to end of the season, whether or not Draymond is on the court. But obviously they're going to be better with him on the court. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust to start the season, who that starting rotation is going to be. With him off the court, and then when he comes back, what's going to happen with that rotation as well. From a side perspective, this game is tough, but I don't agree with a 2.5 point move towards the Sun here after the Draymond news that he was going to be out. I feel like that's just a little bit too much for me from a side perspective. I do agree with the total going up though. I expect both of these teams to be highly efficient offensively. Draymond is that guy that makes an impact on the defensive side of the ball. So I do agree with that total moving up. For me, I usually take continuity and chemistry over talent. I say this, I'd say that this will be a tight game from beginning to end as well. I think both games on opening day are going to be great matchups. But the Warriors, to me, I think they get it done in a high scoring game. Like I said, I think it's more so that they moved the line a little bit too much here. All four matchups between these two teams went over last year as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see both of these teams combine for over 240 in this game specifically. Guys, that's the two games for opening day here. I went through both games on the slate. Again, this show is meant to assist you guys with your handicapping process, right? You don't need to blindly tell what I'm saying here. But if you do want to follow my premium plays, head over to WagerTalk go straight to my capper page, and you can see my work there. Right now, Wager Talk actually has a promo available for a 3-day all access pass for just $49. You could see, down in the bottom there scrolling. I've been doing pretty well overall from for this summer. Hitting the soccer, the pitch, the NHL, NFL, all doing pretty well. 74 units up since August 1st. But yeah, so basically, NBA coming around the corner. A lot of people know me from the NBA as well. So if you guys do want to try a 3-day all access pass for just $49, that's available. That's $20 off the regular price. Just use promo code Access3 at checkout. Like I get again, you could see the link down on the bottom, scrolling on the page there. So yeah, man, thanks for everybody tuning in, trusting my insights. As the season goes on, more data and analytics will be thrown into this show as well. And that's going to be the fun part of it. I know a lot of people are interested in that type of stuff as well. Make sure you guys drop your thoughts, favorite plays of the day in the comment section. Any questions for me as well? My handicapping process, I'm always open about it. Just leave that in the comment section, and I'll try to answer those questions in the next episode. All right. So till next time, guys, fatal follow. Good luck. Peace.